Welcome back. You're listening to Cindy Laverty Show. Thanks for joining me. My guest today is Donald Altman, and we're talking about his book, 1 Minute Mindfulness. And I want to remind you to go to Facebook, go to My Care Movement, and hit the like button, and let's get this party started here. Donald, thanks so much for being with us. I want to let everybody know where they can buy your book. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's on the bookshelves of Barnes & Noble. And then you have a website.
Right. And that's 1minute-mindfulnessbook.com, with the word one is spelled out O-N-E.
Okay.
1 Minute Mindfulness Book.
1minute-mindfulnessbook.com. There's lots of great information there, so I encourage you to go check it out. Get this book. Give this to somebody else who maybe is struggling. I mean, it's a little book with 50 things, and you can go through it and do one thing a day if that's all you think you can handle. But I highly recommend that you get this book. Donald, why
I actually think, using it almost like the I Ching, where you just open it up and...
Yeah, it's going to stay right by my bed, I can tell you that. Why is play so important?
I think play is, because play is kind of an attitude that we can take about anything. And often I think when people get into the workplace, they leave the play behind, and they're not really just having that sense of joyfulness or that sense of openness to anything that can happen. And so I think it's it's kind of an attitude shift. And so I think play is really something that we need to bring into our lives. Play and laughter and sharing that with others is really important too. And we
take ourselves a little too seriously, I think.
Yeah, I think this is about lightening up. And I think 1 minute mindfulness really is about lightening up and not taking things too seriously, kind of just stepping back, allowing for some space, and approaching things also with a sense of, almost childlike curiosity.
Yeah, that's important to do that.
Yeah, and really stopping to ask some questions.
Right. You watch a little child when they're walking somewhere and they stop and look at little things and pick them up and study them and bring them home.
Yeah, and even somebody who, let's say even with people who, everybody has someone difficult in their lives, right?
Yes.
And even to think about getting out of the mindset where we think, here's this difficult person again, and whether it's a boss, coworker, or someone in your family. But instead of that, you could take a curious stance and try to understand them more.
Yeah.
Setting aside your belief system for a moment and just being curious, because everybody is very complex and unique. I mean, they're the one of a kind in the universe. So you take that perspective and just try to get to understand them a little more.
Yeah, and honor that. Just honor that. There's nobody else like you.
Yeah, honor that, yeah.
I want to focus on the I, thou kindness. I think this is really what the care movement, my care movement, is about, but this is one of my favorite parts in your book, is the I, thou kindness. Tell us what that means.
Well, I, thou kindness is about really shifting into a mode where you're really seeing another person as somebody who you're connected with, not as somebody who is just, a lot of times we objectify people. So-and-so, they make me feel good because they do this, or so, it's about shifting from seeing another person as a kind of an object, right, that can be manipulated or moved around to get your needs met or whatever, but really entering into a dynamic experience with that person where we can connect from the heart. And then even from that place, it's an I-thou place, right?
Yes.
That we can be open, engaged, and empathetic with this person, but it's not about expecting anything in return. It's about what I can give.
Right. It's not about being judgmental. It's just, what can I give to this person? Yeah.
And you said the word honor earlier, and it's about honoring the uniqueness of this individual. And so when you enter that place of kindness, Robert Louis Stevenson said that kindness was the one thing that he felt made the world tolerable. Yeah, he said that even the smallest kindnesses, the smile, that you give somebody, the little gesture.
It's
It's
true.
the little things that make life count, and we need to pay attention to that.
Especially if you're having a really tough day and, somebody just smiles at you. You ever notice how, we don't really smile at each other anymore. You get into an elevator with a whole bunch of people going the same place and nobody looks at anybody. So you want to make people uncomfortable, get in the elevator and face them.
And smile.
And then start talking.
Turn around and smile.
They think you're crazy.
And also, I think that, I want everybody to think about what was a kindness that someone showed you that really mattered in your life.
Yeah.
And that can help prime the pump for you to start thinking about, that really made a difference for me. Maybe it was that teacher. Maybe it was a neighbor, kind neighbor. But I want you to think about how kindness really has impacted you.
And then stay with that.
And carry it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward.
With that.
You talk in this book about get rid of the perfectionism trap. And woo, did that resonate for me. I think that's part of my gremlin, like I get stuck when I can't be perfect. And I've been learning, and it's a learned process for me of sort of letting that go,
Well, and I think that a lot of people worry, well, if I wasn't perfectionist, I'd just be a slacker. Right?
Yeah, there's got to be somewhere in the middle that it's a happy medium.
This is about being in the middle. This is about moderation and kindness toward yourself, actually, and to think that you could have a new definition for what does it mean to succeed in life, right?
Right.
Or what does failure mean? I mean, anybody who has done anything that is successful has failed many, many times. And so sometimes it's about redefining what failure is. In fact, that's one of the practices I have under this particular chapter about escaping perfectionism. Every chapter has a little practice at the end, like a one-minute practice you can do. But I think the importance of redefining failure is very useful and can help somebody understand that, everything's a learning experience, and that could be one definition.
Well, and failure gives us an opportunity to find a new way to do something.
Exactly. It's a very important pathway of growth. And, I say in the book, too, I say that everybody is, who's perfectionistic thinks I have to reach the level of 10.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Let's talk about this on the other side of the break. Stay with us. I found the